What I failed to show you last time on our trip to Bombay was that the exhibit was being held at the Arizona Science Center, which has many interesting exhibits which Michelle was eager to see.
Wait, you have to... Why do they have smart? Why does it have a token? What is this? It's like killing a person.
All right, well, I've got that pump, which I didn't show you going into the water, but it's into the water. And again, the reason we're draining the pool is that you reach a point with a pool where the water in it will no longer handle the chemicals to keep it clean. And after my massive research effort a month or so ago, and absolutely certain I was applying the correct amount of chemicals to wipe out any kind of standard pool problem, and it couldn't. And it's you know, it's time. Chuan says I haven't drained the pool since we were married. You got to do it every 10 years, and we've been married getting close to 20, so it's time to drain the pool. So that concoction that we put together at the plumbing store the other day is indeed connected to a hose, and the hose is running over this way, and damn it, it just sprang another leak. It's an old shitty hose. Oh no, that wasn't a leak, that was something else. I had to patch the hose in a couple of places, and then it's going over here into the sewer clean out. And there was some concern that it might pump too much water for it, but I can assure you it is not. It is a gentle flow of water. Shouldn't be a problem. So I'd guess about Sunday at the rate it's going. We'll see. I've taken a picture from a reference point. I'm not going to put out a time lapse here. But I've taken a picture from a reference point, and I'm going to measure it in an hour and then see if I can't work up some sort of an estimate as to how long it's actually going to take. The pump I've got here, draining the pool, is supposed to be a continuous duty pump, but I'm not too thrilled about the idea of leaving it on overnight. Especially yesterday when I didn't have it plugged into a GFI outlet. I do now, so I'm a little less concerned about it, and it does have a cutoff when the water level gets too low. But nonetheless, you know, it's going. It's back on, of course, now. And it's beginning to go. Pool is draining. Looks pretty nasty. That doesn't surprise me. It's going to be very hot this weekend, which means that for all the water I put in, I'm also going to have to put water back in to keep the plaster damp. Not sure how I'm going to have to do that. Sprinklers, I think. Well, we'll see. Well, we'll see. Hot and getting hotter. In the low 90s today. Heat warnings to 107 on the weekend, yet during this week it's been in the low 80s and beautiful. Anyway, so every hour I'm going out to water down the pool. It's slowly lowering. It's below the first step now. It's coming up on the second step soon. And because it's a plaster pool, I have to go out and I have to spray down the sides that are exposed to the heat, which of course puts more water in the pool. Fortunately, it only takes a few minutes, so it's not a huge a huge stupid game of filling it up to drain it back out again. I just got a letter in the mail, and I just thought I meant to go over this the other day because I'd gotten a letter in the mail the other day too from the same people. In June, you may recall, June 2016. June 2016. I'm just going to remind you of how far back that was. That drunk woman drove through my wall. And you may recall, in August of 2017, she had her day in court. And ultimately, long story, you can go back and look at that. She ultimately pled guilty and then had to come back for sentencing. They were going to assign her to rehabilitation and sentencing and possibly some jail time. Who knows? Don't know. I didn't need to be there, and I wasn't going to kick up a fuss about it. But she somehow got that postponed and then postponed and postponed, and they just keep postponing these things. I keep getting notes because I'm entitled to be at any of the hearings, so I get a notice of every one of them. And there was one couple 3 weeks ago, which, you know, it's like, how long can this go on, right? Only this one was different. This one said, hey, she didn't show up, and now there's a subpoena, the warrant out for her arrest. So if you have any contact with her, let us know right away, which I think is more a victim thing. You know, if the criminal gets away, it's a form letter. It's basically a form letter. If the criminal gets away, the victim might have to worry about them showing up. I'm not worried about her showing up. But anyway, she apparently skipped and is now a wanted criminal. But I got one today that says that her next court appearance is in October. October! For fuck's sake, people! I don't know if that means they arrested her or they're going to try again in October. Justice, it's fast. The pump ran all night last night, so we made a big jump in the drop in the pool. It's gone from just below the second step to just below the first step, or I guess just below the second step to just below the third step. And I'd guess it's about a foot drop, maybe. Weird thing is, with each time that I come out here, the level of stain on the wall is different. Sometimes it's lighter, sometimes it's more. It's forming banding. And I can only assume that that has to do with all the water that's suspended, all the crap that's suspended in the water from previous wash downs. Because every time I wash it down, and of course as the water goes down, the pump is really pumping water, not so much gunk. So the water gets uglier and uglier the further down it goes. It's not quite black yet, but it's getting there. It's really nasty looking now. I've had to move the pump further out because it was getting close to the safety cutout. It's got a float to keep it from running dry. So now I'd guess it's out at about the 4-foot depth. I'm hesitant to drop it straight down into the 10-foot depth because it's also where all the debris and the junk goes, and it's not possible to see what's down there. So I don't want it, you know, leaves, plastic. The pool cleaner is down there apparently. Who knows? We'll see as it gets lower. And I just keep moving it on its tether line a little deeper, and we'll see what happens. I think as the pool gets lower, the actual amount of water that's needed to remove, you know, an inch of surface water gets less and less, particularly once we get past the steps. So this might be done tonight. I would guess more likely tomorrow morning, but it's getting there. Then I'm not sure what we do. How hard it'll be to try to clean up whatever gunk is left at the bottom, because I think it's going to be a sludge. You know, that I'm just kicking off the walls. I'm kicking that can down the road. But eventually, we're going to have to clean it out. And I'm not even sure how we're going to get the last of the water out. So, I'm sure as hell not siphoning out. It's already almost 100 out. It's going to be a hot, hot day. And the plaster is drying really fast. So, I'm trying this technique. I don't know if it's going to work. I've rigged up a extension ladder and I've zip tied my sprinkler to it, and it's suspended in as close to the middle of the pool as I can get. Maybe. I probably could have zip tied it to the other side. Unfortunately, I couldn't put it upside down. I was hoping upside down it would go far enough back and forth, but it's not going to. But anyway, it's sprinkling water over the pool, and with luck, it'll be enough to keep the hot and sweaty out. It'll be enough to keep the plaster wet, and at the same time not as much as being drained out by the pump. Well, we'll see. Well, we're out early this morning before it gets hot. I had hoped that the pool would be further along than it is, but it isn't. But it is far enough along that we were able to take the ladder out and put it down in the pool and put the sprinkler on the ladder down there. And I think we're doing a better job of spraying the sides this morning. I can only hope that the pump finishes the job with enough time to spare. Otherwise, well, we're going to have a hard choice to make. But it's not a hard choice for me, but we're going to have a hard choice to make. We've been gone for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and it's visibly started to move now. And this is the first time I can say that in the course of an hour you can see a big difference. Because it's going down the slope into the deep end, and it's exposed at least a foot of floor space. So if it continues at that rate, 6 hours, and if the slope intensifies, which I think it does, it might even be faster, assuming it doesn't clog the pump up. As I've been working on this vlog the last couple of days, I have had foremost in my mind the concept that we would drain the pool and get it to the point where we were going to, if not full, then at least be filling it again. And then I realized that violates all rules of dramatic presentation. So, with the pool still draining, and an unknown amount of sludge in the deep end of the pool, and a variable amount of time that we still don't know, we have to ask the question, what will happen next? Tune in next time on Tedium Unlimited, and I'll probably let you know.